Renpho Scales. Hey again. Hey Lindsay. Hey Karen. Hey everybody. Hey Barbie. Yes. Hey. So we'll leave this right here in the group. So we're going to talk about the Renpho scales. So the Renpho scales are a set of bathroom scales. I guess people still call them bathroom scales. But if I go to the website, it's these little scales right here. Okay. These Renpho scales, they're awesome. Very inexpensive. These are 24 bucks, only $24 through Amazon, and they're very durable. These are a surprisingly high quality scale. I have been talking about them for many years. I still have my original set of Renpho bathroom scales that I purchased many years ago, and they're just awesome. They're fantastic because they're biometric impedance scales. There's a certain way that you use them to get good data back, though. You want to be properly hydrated. Biometric impedance devices, they can't really do a good job of measuring BMI, essential fat, reserve fat. They don't do a great job unless you're properly hydrated. With Shibboleth, a half a gallon up to a gallon of water a day should keep you hydrated properly. And if you're hydrated properly and then you stand on those bathroom scales barefooted, I'm about to show you me with my clothes on those scales. But, you know, of course, you don't want to be weighing with your clothes on unless you're going to do that consistently. What we're looking for is your trend line, right? So when you're looking at biometric impedance devices, they get a bad rap by fitness professionals, but they really shouldn't, because the only way to measure body fat percentage accurately is hydrostatic water weighing, and it's hard to find one of those, and they can be expensive to do a hydrostatic water weight test to find out and determine your body fat percentage. The other way is a good old set of calipers. The Perillo method is the best way to measure body fat with calipers, but it's a little bit intrusive. I quit doing those years ago because you can actually, if you do it right, the skin fold test, you can really bruise somebody, and it can be not painful, but uncomfortable. We quit doing that years ago. But I like for people to use either our assessment in the journal or use the Renpho scales, the biometric impedance device, and it's darn accurate. So when you're getting on those scales, you want to weigh the same way each time. You want to be barefooted. You want to try to maintain good hydration. Then the key is to watch the trend. They can have a margin of error of 3 to 5%. What does that mean? That means if it says 20% body fat, it could be off by a couple of digits either way. But it doesn't matter because it's showing you a good trend. And the data that it gives you is invaluable. And it comes with an app. So there's several different Renpho apps. They have a body massager. They have all kind of different things, but they have these scales that are just awesome. I mean, these types of scales usually are $100 plus. So it's really good value, and it connects via Bluetooth to the app, and it populates the data in the app. Now, you still have to put it in your Shibboleth journal if you want it in there. But I just look at my app, and it shows me my trend. So let me pull that up for you, and I'm going to go over the information. This is the data that it gave me. Again, clothes on this morning, 189.8. Okay, that's my weight. I'm in athlete mode, meaning that I'm not sedentary. I have a larger bone structure. If you're sedentary and you consider yourself small boned, again, that's a whole nother session on ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph, the different bone structures. But we're not going to get too much into that right now, but it's either athlete mode or the normal mode. If you're sedentary and you don't consider yourself to be big bone like me, then you're going to be in the normal mode. So 189.8, and then it says that my BMI is 23.8. So I used to not be big on BMI, but I am now. I'm big on BMI, especially after COVID. The study suggested whether you were overly musculature had a surplus of musculature or a surplus of adipose tissue, that being excess body fat, that people didn't fare well with COVID if they got COVID. From a statistical standpoint, it was all about the body mass index. Now, on our website, you can find, and plus you can Google it, you can find really good ranges, acceptable ranges of BMI. I'm right there at the line. You want to keep a low BMI. Mine was about, even though I've really leaned down, my BMI is still at the upper range. So you want to get that BMI to an acceptable level. Again, you can find that in our assessment online. My body fat percentage this morning was 13.3%. What I suggest for most of the ladies is the high 20s. The high 20s is a good range for you. If you're in the low 30s and you have some experience on you, then you're probably going to be okay from a weight range standpoint. Men, you want to be in the low 20s, okay? Then my fat-free body weight is 164.4. Now, this is going to tell us a lot for the Shibboleth program. This is where we can really determine our calories, our protein, our macros. We talk a lot about that in Partner and Faithfully Fit classes because you want to support that lean tissue with enough protein. If you're eating 3 eating episodes a day with Shibboleth, you're getting in adequate protein. Don't care who you are, you're getting it in if you're following the combination protocol. But if you're doing only 1 to 2 eating episodes a day, we got to be a little more mindful about our protein long range. I'm not worried about it on the daily basis, but more worried about it on the weekly basis. Some days I don't get enough protein, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not going to muscle waste over 1 day. It's that consistently not getting enough protein. And we're about to add some great calculators where you can determine that with more ease. But basically what we're looking for there is a 0.5 gram of protein up to 1 gram of protein when you're in the weight loss phase per lean body tissue, okay? You've got visceral fat. This is the fat I want to get gone. Visceral fat, we don't need much of that. You've got essential fat, reserve fat, and excess fat. I don't have any excess fat. I determined that by our assessment online. Your body water is going to be somewhere between 55 and 65% if you're decently hydrated. And in my muscle mass, you can see what does it mean, fat-free body weight and muscle mass. My lean tissue is 156.4, and then I'm carrying some fluid. And then it goes all the way down here and gives you some other great data. I can't scroll because this is an image, but here's your calories. And this is pretty accurate if you're in maintenance. This is not accurate if you're trying to lose body fat. So it says, in order to maintain this body weight, I need about 1,981 calories. Muscle burns more calories or burns calories at rest. Fat just jiggles and itches. So this is based upon the amount of lean tissue on my frame, and that's how it's determining that number. If you've been to class very much, you know that we use some simple numbers. We just keep it simple. If I'm in the weight loss mode, I take my ideal weight times 8, and that's the calorie range I want to stay under. When I'm in maintenance, I take my maintenance weight times 10. And if you'll notice, it's pretty darn accurate. So I'm 190 pounds, this is with my clothes on. 190 times 10 would be 1,900. So it's right on point with what I give out mathematically in all the classes. So this is your Renpho scales, and that's the data that it provides, and it populates that into the app, and it keeps up with it daily for you. You can also friend people if you want them to see your weight, hold you accountable, and you hold them accountable. So you can send them a friend request and y'all can share data. So that is the app, that is the data that it gives you, and it's very meaningful data. All right, let me take a look, see if there's any questions before I go. Any questions? Anybody have anything before I go about that? Renpho bathroom scales, I call them bathroom scales, comes with the Renpho app, Bluetooth, put your information in there, stay hydrated, get on that thing barefooted, and it'll give you some good trends. What is the battery life on those scales? Good gracious, I couldn't tell you. I've never measured it, but months. I think I've changed the batteries in that thing maybe twice. Yeah, good battery life, long battery life, absolutely. Anybody else? Love those little bathroom scales. They're worth so much more than what that company charges for them. They're top notch. All right. I hope that was helpful. If anybody's asking about Renpho scales, this will be a good video. We'll put it in the website library as well, and we'll leave it here in the group as a resource. Oh Lord, Aaron, there may be something wrong with them. I have rarely had to change batteries. I'm sorry, bro. I just haven't had that experience, and I've had mine for years. So yeah, I may have changed the batteries in them 2 or 3 times. May be something wrong there. Unless they changed it. They may have changed them, some inner working of them since I got mine, but mine look just like the ones here. All right. Make sure you get some Duracell or some Energizer. I don't know about them Walmart or Amazon batteries. All right, y'all. Thank you. I hope you have a blessed night, and Lord willing, we'll all connect tomorrow. Thanks.